Welcome back to Immortal News. Today we unite not just as viewers but as a global community to pay homage to 9 iconic figures who've recently taken their final bows. Their legacies have left an indelible mark on our hearts. We extend our deepest condolences to their families, friends, and fans worldwide. In our news segment, beyond our dedicated tributes, we'll provide a health update on Michael Schumacher and delve into the heart-wrenching aftermath of the devastating earthquake that rocked Morocco, leaving an entire nation in mourning. Furthermore, we address the sudden and untimely passing of a corporate luminary, CEO Mike Bidwell of Neighborly, a void deeply felt in the business community and beyond. Before we delve into these narratives, we'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. And for those who wish to extend further support, please click the Thanks button. Every gesture fuels our commitment, empowering us to convey these stories with the reverence they warrant. From the very core of our hearts at Immortal News, we thank you. Number 9. Felicia Taylor, a confluence of journalism and Hollywood heritage. Felicia Rodriguez Sturt Taylor, an esteemed American anchor correspondent with a career that spanned multiple news outlets and continents, passed away at 59 years old in Palm Beach, Florida, on September 8, 2023. Taylor's contributions to journalism were wide-ranging, from her time as a co-host on Retirement Living TV's Daily Cafe to her work for CNN International's World Business Today. She was not just a journalist, but a thought leader who interviewed notable personalities from Margaret Thatcher to Donald Trump, covering pivotal moments like the Gulf War and the aftermath of 9/11. Born into Hollywood royalty on August 28, 1964, Taylor was the daughter of Australian actor Rod Taylor and American fashion model Mary Hylam. With John Wayne and John Ford as her godfathers, she was destined for the spotlight. She chose journalism as her stage, earning a BA in English from Northwestern University before embarking on her career. Before her CNN and CNBC tenures, Taylor served as a weekend anchor for WNBC in New York and was a correspondent at the Financial Times in London. Throughout her career, Taylor made it a point to spotlight issues affecting women. She conceptualized the Leading Women series on CNN, providing an in-depth look at the lives and careers of women leaders aiming to inspire women globally. However, Taylor's storytelling was not confined to the newsroom. She produced an award-winning documentary, Far From Home, focusing on the challenges faced by the children of Senegal due to climate change. This project displayed her ability to delve into complex issues, shedding light on oft-overlooked communities. In her personal life, Taylor was known for her compassion, infectious laughter, and deep-rooted love for her family and friends. She was twice married, with her second husband, Peter Gottsagen, surviving her. Felicia Taylor was also an ardent supporter of South Florida PBS and a member of the Beach Club and Screen Actors Guild. Taylor's legacy is one of integrity, empowerment, and a relentless pursuit of truth. She left an indelible mark on journalism, on social causes, and on the hearts of those fortunate enough to know her. Her work not only informed but inspired, leaving an enduring legacy that will continue to empower generations to come. Tributes to Felicia Taylor. Number 8. Mike Yarwood, the master mimic who captured a generation. Mike Yarwood, a legendary television comedian and impersonator, passed away on September 8, 2023, at the age of 82. His death was announced by the Royal Variety charity and occurred in a hospital. Yarwood rose to prominence in the 1960s and 70s, becoming a household name for his exceptional talent in mimicking politicians like Harold Wilson and Ted Heath, as well as other public figures like Prince Charles and the late football manager Brian Clough. Born on June 14, 1941, in Bredbury, Greater Manchester, Yarwood was a lifelong supporter of Stockport County Football Club. His TV shows, including The Mike Yarwood Show, garnered massive audiences. Notably, his 1977 Christmas Day show attracted one of the largest single audiences ever for a British TV program, with 21.4 million viewers. The Royal Variety charity mourned his loss deeply, stating that he leaves behind an immeasurable void in the entertainment industry. Yarwood's unique ability to capture the essence of the people he impersonated made him an icon in the comedy world, admired by peers and fans alike. BBC Director General Tim Davie remembered him as one of the greats, part of the golden generation of entertainers. Television comedian Kate Robbins and BBC broadcaster Emma Freud also paid their tributes, highlighting Yarwood's warmth and professionalism. In his later years, Yarwood resided at the Royal Variety Charity's Brinsworth House in Twickenham, southwest London. Even as he moved away from the limelight, his legacy as a pioneer in the art of impersonation remained indelible. His contributions to comedy and entertainment will be remembered for generations to come. Tributes to Mike Yarwood. Number 7. Violeta Mitul. A rising star in women's football cut short by tragedy. The world of football is in mourning after the tragic loss of Violeta Mitul, a shining star for the Moldovan women's team, who passed away at the young age of 26. Mitul's life was cut short in a devastating hiking accident with her Einherji Vopnafjordur club mates on September 4, 2023. With 40 international caps for Moldova, she was a powerhouse on the field as a defender, making a mark not just in her home country but across Europe. The incident, which occurred while hiking on a mountain, has been described as an accident by the club. Violeta was kind, energetic, and smiling. She was a solid member of the team and an exemplary footballer, said a statement from Einherji Vopnafjordur. The club went on to emphasize the great shock and void she leaves behind, sending their thoughts to her teammates and coaches. Violeta's death was confirmed by paramedics who arrived at the scene following a fall from cliffs near the marina on Vopnafjordur, as reported by the Icelandic publication Vísir. The specifics of the accident are still under investigation. Having played across multiple European clubs, Violeta was a symbol of emerging talent in women's football. Her untimely death leaves a stark void in a sport that she helped enrich through her dedication, skill, and infectious energy. She leaves behind teammates who admired her, coaches who counted on her, and fans who watched her star rise with each game. Tributes to Violeta Mitul. Number 6. Lisa Lyon, a pioneer in female bodybuilding and cultural icon. Lisa Lyon, who broke new ground in the world of bodybuilding and left an indelible impact on pop culture, passed away on September 8, 2023, at the age of 70. Lyon died at her home in San Fernando Valley, California, after a battle with stomach cancer. She had recently been transferred to hospice care, indicating the severity of her condition. In 1979, Lyon won the first International Federation of Bodybuilders Women's World Pro Bodybuilding Championship. That same year, at just 26, she was working as a story analyst for American International Pictures and became a household name after winning first place in a women's bodybuilding competition in Los Angeles. Her groundbreaking achievements garnered the praise of her peers, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, who labeled her the best. An iconic photo once captured her lifting Schwarzenegger on her shoulders, a feat even more impressive considering her 5'4" stature and 120-pound weight, compared to Schwarzenegger's 225 pounds, also her deadlift capacity. Lyon graced the pages of Playboy magazine in 1980, and famed photographer Robert Mapplethorpe featured her in a 1983 gallery exhibition in Soho. Her groundbreaking role in the world of bodybuilding served as the initial inspiration for Frank Miller's Marvel Comics character Elektra, embedding her even further into the cultural psyche. In 2000, Lyon was inducted into the International Fitness and Bodybuilding Federal Hall of Fame, recognizing her invaluable contributions to the sport and to the empowerment of women everywhere. Her legacy will continue to inspire aspiring bodybuilders, artists, and strong women for years to come. Tributes to Lisa Lyon. Number 5. Mangosuthu Buthelezi, a complex legacy in South Africa's liberation and governance. The Zulu Prince, veteran South African politician and founder of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Mangosuthu Buthelezi passed away on September 9, 2023, at the age of 95. His death came after complications related to a procedure for back pain. Born into Zulu royalty, Buthelezi was a significant and often polarizing figure in South Africa's struggle against apartheid. President Cyril Ramaphosa announced his death, highlighting Buthelezi's multifaceted roles, including that of the traditional prime minister to the Zulu monarch and nation. Buthelezi founded the IFP in 1975, initially as a cultural movement that later became a political force, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal province. His relationship with the African National Congress was fraught, leading to bloody conflicts in the 1980s and 1990s that resulted in about 20,000 deaths and the displacement of hundreds of thousands. In a turn of events, Buthelezi chose to participate in South Africa's first post-apartheid elections in 1994, a decision that brought peace and ushered the ANC into power. He served 2 terms as Minister of Home Affairs, but faced criticisms for graft and incompetence during his tenure. Outside of politics, he portrayed his own great-grandfather, King Cetshwayo, in the 1964 film Zulu, enhancing the global image of the Zulu as a mighty warrior race. Survived by his wife Irene Mazila and their 7 children, Buthelezi was a complicated figure. To his critics, he was a warlord. To his followers, a visionary. His legacy remains complex, marred by both his contributions to the liberation struggle and the violent, uneasy years that followed. Tributes to Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Number 4. Maria Jimenez, the indomitable spirit of flamenco and feminism. An iconic figure, Maria Jimenez, in the Spanish music scene, known for her mastery in flamenco, rumbas, tangos, and bulerías, passed away at the age of 73 on September 7, 2023. She died at her home in Seville after facing various health issues since 2019, although the specific cause of her death remains unknown. Born in February 1950 in the Triana neighborhood of Seville, Jimenez's talent was evident from an early age. She began her journey on a flamenco tablao at just 15 years old. Jimenez released her first album in 1976, featuring arrangements by guitarist Paco Chepero. The 1978 hit Se Acabó skyrocketed her to stardom, firmly establishing her presence in the Spanish charts. Her career faced a hiatus during the 90s but made a groundbreaking comeback in 2002 with the album Donde Más Duele, Sing for Sabina, which sold more than 600,000 copies in Spain alone. Apart from her contributions to music, Jimenez was a feminist icon, boldly speaking out against abuse and mistreatment at a time when it was rarely discussed. Her complicated relationship with actor Pepe Sancho highlighted her courage to confront difficult personal issues publicly. The artist was also an occasional actress and left an indelible mark in the media until the 90s. Her last work, a 1920 recording named Sensación with Miguel Poveda, adds to her lasting legacy. Maria is survived by her son, Alejandro Jimenez, who described her as an indomitable spirit, an overwhelming personality, a strong and courageous woman. Tributes to Maria Jimenez. Number 3. Brett Wayne. Sawyer, a wrestling legacy bound by family and championships. Nunu Brett Wayne Sawyer, a luminary in the world of professional wrestling, passed away on September 9, 2023, at the age of 68. The The cause of his death remains undetermined at this time. Born Brett Woyan, he was the younger brother of the late Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, who served not just as his sibling but also as his mentor and trainer. Sawyer found fame in the late 1970s and early 1980s as one half of a tag team with his brother in Don Owens Pacific Northwest Wrestling. Adopting the ring name Hacksaw, he had a robust career within the Portland wrestling circuit. Sawyer secured the Pacific Northwest title 4 times and also claimed multiple tag team championships. Beyond Portland, the Sawyer brothers had an unforgettable feud with the Road Warriors in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Brett continued to impress in Jim Crockett Promotions, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and even held the Central States Wrestling Championship as a solo competitor. Though he retired in 1998, Brett had recently started appearing at wrestling conventions, signing autographs, and taking part in photo sessions, leaving an indelible impression on new generations of wrestling fans. His participation in events like last month's The Gathering 3 in Charlotte, North Carolina, was a testament to his enduring appeal. Beyond the ring, Sawyer's legacy is also kept alive through family, friends, and fans who admired him, not just as a professional wrestler but as a person. The wrestling world loses another of its stalwarts, but the stories and memories, much like his moniker Hacksaw, will remain tough and unyielding. Tribute to Brett Wayne Sawyer. Breaking news. News 1. Hope takes a back seat. Michael Schumacher's family face the unspoken reality. In a heart-wrenching admission that has left the F1 community gasping, Mick Schumacher, son of legendary F1 driver Michael Schumacher, sheds light on the grim reality of his father's condition. Almost a decade since the world's 7-time champion suffered life-altering injuries from a catastrophic skiing accident, the word hope seems to have faded from the family's vocabulary. "I would give anything to talk to Dad," says Mick, a sentiment that reverberates across the globe, tearing at the heartstrings of fans and reminding the world of the magnitude of Michael Schumacher's absence both on and off the racetrack. This candid revelation underscores the grim shadow cast over a family that once shone so bright in the spotlight. While Schumacher's wife Corinna maintains a fortress of privacy around her husband, the walls seem to crumble just a bit as the family's reality becomes increasingly inescapable. News 2. In memoriam, Marrakech's unseen tremor, a powerful earthquake, touches the soul of Morocco, leaving a nation in mourning. In a somber moment that has united the world in grief, a devastating 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck near Morocco's historic city of Marrakech on Friday night, tragically taking over 1,300 lives. Rescuers tirelessly comb through rubble in the Atlas Mountains, their searchlight beams like guardian angels in the dark, illuminating faces filled with both despair and hope. Amid the heartbreak, the venerable Koutoubia Mosque and the storied walls of Marrakech bear the scars of this catastrophic event, standing as silent witnesses to the human loss and suffering. Online footage reveals a population bound by resilience and unity, navigating a tapestry of emotions in dark streets clouded by dust. As blankets, food, and international aid arrive to comfort the grieving, this unprecedented calamity serves as a somber testament to the enduring spirit of the Moroccan people and a worldwide call for empathy and support. News 3. Hero until the end. Tragic loss of rescuer, Chris Lewis, the man who saved lives even while facing death. Chris Lewis, a revered member of the Patterdale Mountain Rescue Team in the Lake District, who suffered a catastrophic fall while rescuing rule-breaking campers in 2021, has passed away. Lewis had sustained severe spinal damage from a 500-foot fall, yet his indomitable spirit saw him continue to support mountain rescue endeavors. He was a mentor to the young and a confidant to veterans. His absence creates a void that words cannot fill. Admitted to Furness General Hospital on September 2nd with pneumonia, he passed away just 2 days later, but his legacy will live on through an entire community bound by his bravery. Team leader Mike Rippon mourns the loss, describing him as a lovely, genuine person whose contributions were significant. Chris Lewis wasn't just a rescuer, he was a hero in every sense of the word. News 4, trailblazing CEO Mike Bidwell of Neighborly departs at 65, leaves legacy of innovation and compassion. In a sudden and deeply felt loss, Neighborly, the global titan of home services, announced the unexpected death of its long-standing president and CEO Mike Bidwell at age 65. Bidwell was more than a CEO, he was a pillar of the franchise community, amassing an extraordinary career that spanned almost 40 years. Starting in 1984 with a carpet cleaning franchise in Tucson, Arizona, he became a serial entrepreneur, adding 2 more franchises to his portfolio before being called to Neighborly's world headquarters in 1995. Known as an insightful, compassionate leader, Bidwell climbed through the ranks to become the company's CEO in 2014. Mike's vision and values have been our North Star, said the company leadership. Neighborly is committed to honoring his lasting legacy by maintaining the visionary path he set for the company. John Schell assumes the role of interim CEO as Neighborly navigates forward without its guiding light. Now it's time to remember the legends who passed away in the past years. Number 2. Robert Frank, shifting the lens on American life. Robert Frank, a seminal figure in American photography, passed away at the age of 94 on September 9, 2019. Born in Switzerland, Frank rose to prominence with his groundbreaking book, The Americans, which featured an introduction by Beat Generation writer Jack Kerouac. Released in 1959, the collection of 83 black and white photographs taken with a Leica 35mm camera rejected conventional photography norms. Through his lens, Frank introduced us to the overlooked corners of American society, capturing everyone from teenage lovers to factory workers. His snapshot aesthetic, as it was called, had a profound influence on artists like Jeff Wall, Mary Ellen Mark, and Ed Ruscha. Not just a photographer, Frank was also a significant avant-garde filmmaker, working with cultural icons like Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg. His 1972 documentary on the Rolling Stones, Though Embroiled in Controversy, remains a significant piece of rock history. Frank was unafraid of confronting societal taboos and establishment norms, opening doors for photographers like Diane Arbus and other countercultural artists. His work, described by critics as bridging the chasm between the American dream and the everyday reality, remains a critical commentary on issues like race, consumerism, and political incompetence. Personal tragedies, losing his daughter Andrea in a 1974 plane crash and his son Pablo to suicide in 1994, imprinted his later autobiographical work. Despite these hardships, Frank's influence persisted in shaping American art and culture. His last words on the state of photography in 2004, "There are too many pictures now, it's overwhelming," may reflect our current age, but Frank's own works stand apart, continuing to challenge and inspire. Tributes to Robert Frank. Number 1. Ronald Bell, the heartbeat of Kool and the Gang's timeless groove. Ronald Bell, co-founder of the iconic music group Kool and the Gang, passed away suddenly on September 9, 2020, at the age of 68. Not the face, but indeed the soul of the band, Bell co-founded the group with his older brother Robert in 1964. He was the linchpin for over 5 decades, playing multiple instruments, co-writing hits like Celebration and Ladies' Night, and producing much of their work. Born into an impoverished family in Youngstown, Ohio, Bell's family moved to Jersey City, New Jersey in 1961, where his early love for jazz and soul would flourish. Ronald and Robert formed their first band, the Jazziacs, in high school. The band evolved its unique fusion sound of jazz and funk, and was eventually renamed Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang achieved a series of hits from 1973 to 1985, that have become timeless classics. Their 1980 U.S. chart topper Celebration greeted American hostages returning from Iran and became the anthem for the 1981 Super Bowl. As part of Band Aid's 1984 charity single, Do They Know It's Christmas?, Bell displayed his unerring sense of solidarity. Bell converted to Islam in 1972, adopting the Muslim name Khalis Bayan. His spiritual convictions often found their way into his work, notably inspiring Celebration. Bell was also a formidable producer, even as the band underwent musical evolutions and lineup changes over the years. Despite losing their core fan base in the late 80s, Kool and the Gang remained a popular live act, enthralling audiences as recently as 2011 at the Glastonbury Festival. They sold over 70 million records worldwide, had a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and even saw a stretch of Jersey City Road renamed in their honor. Bell is survived by his third wife, Tia Sinclair Bell, 10 children, and his brother Robert. His legacy, both musical and humanitarian, lives on, ensuring that we'll all keep celebrating good times, courtesy of his timeless groove. The 12 notable figures we've sadly lost on August 22nd, and in the days that followed. In our news segment, we'll delve into the devastating events in North Carolina, where a house explosion claimed the life of Tennessee Titans cornerback Caleb Farley's father. We'll also discuss the tragic incident in California, where Laura Ann Carlton, a staunch supporter of LGBTQ+ rights, was fatally shot while defending her store's pride flag. Stay with us for these poignant stories, and if you value our coverage, please like this video and support.